negative and were not welcome, and the teacher, so there's loss. So we were supporting them. So we agreed that they send anybody that they are frustrated with to the bilingual classes. So we, some of them, they wrote referrals for special ed, and then we brought into the bilingual service, and we found out that this, there was miscommunication. There are no disability, but confusion. So we cleared the confusion. We taught them in our class. Some of them became the whole school, most intelligent of the whole school. Some of them. So it's very important to differentiate clearly between somebody who is disabled and somebody who is, without confusion of communication. That's very important. And using bilingual, not only bilingual, bilingual who knows something, who can figure out about this, and who can make a research on it and communicate with the parents and find out, how the child is at home, how is he speaking in his language, what's the thinking when he's speaking in the language. So you have to make sure. But this is very, very good. And the services here is nowhere in the world as for these communities.
Mohammed and Noor, I teach down at the Rochester Math and Science Academy. It used to be Adam Abdul Academy. It's an exclusively Somali school, K through 7. We're really lucky to not have to deal with fighting or general disrespect to the teacher. But the one thing that almost all the teachers have in common is they talk about the level of talking in the classroom it's always an issue. And it's not talking so much about the subject that we're teaching, but it's kind of off-task talking. As a culture, is Somali culture very verbal at home, where sort of people discuss issues before kind of tackling them, because it's like kind of an ongoing issue for all the teachers, and if so, how can you deal with that?
I would like to give you my point. You are right. Actually, the Somali language used to be a spoken language before 1972. That's the first time that they wrote. And the community as a whole was, verbal than reading and writing. And it's very important for teachers to focus, when you are teaching Somali students, that you train them how to read and write. The question of talking has two. One is that reason. The other thing is, which is the main one, and I can see the culture back home and here. Here, students they misunderstood about the freedom of, in the United States, the freedom of the child and the student. Also, the culture they are grown up, it's not Somali culture anymore, where the Somali child used to respect the teacher and respect the elders and respect the classroom. So my experience showed me, this. I went 2007 back in Somalia. I went to a classroom of 70 students, young, or they were 5th graders. And there's one teacher. You don't hear any noise while this teacher is taking place, because that culture respects the teacher like a parent. So here, this is not the culture, Somali culture. The difference I saw it so wide. So here we have to bring back our culture by the community should come together and teach their children to take the good things from the United States. See? And leave, don't abuse the facilities. I just want to, my book, some of the, this chapter that's very important here is the vignettes. And these are examples of, Somalis are Islamic, are Muslims. We have issues of prayer, we have issues of fasting, we have issues of dating, we have issues of gym, we have issues of food in the school that I didn't talk about. But the book gives you some examples. Since you are men and women here together, but there is a vignette about dating. So it's in the book. You probably are getting the book. Are they getting the book?
Yes.
So on that one, I just want to mention that there was a teacher in my school who planned a dating lesson for the class. And 1/3 of his students, of her students, were Somalis. So when she started to teach, the Somali group rejected this. What happened? So she came to me and asked me about, culture. This is what I did, and they are not coming. So I explained it. And shall I read it for you? This?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. First of all, just before Valentine's Day, Ms. Levine, this is abstract names, Ms. Levine thought it would be nice to teach a unit on dating and courtship around the world. She had collected some high-interest reading materials on the subject, and she hoped to use them to help her students compare and contrast dating rituals around the world with those of the United States. She also thought that comparisons like this might help students to explore the dating rituals of our culture. The day that Ms. Levine introduced the lesson, she sensed that her Muslim students were uneasy with it. She was not sure exactly what their objections might be, so she decided to talk to a bilingual staff member about it. After that conversation, Ms. Levine considered the meeting. So now this is the explanation. A topic like dating challenges Islamic tradition. In Islamic cultures, the structure of family is to be in accordance with the Islamic law, and it's built only through marriage. The process of marriage is collective responsibility of the couple's families, and the arrangement is started before long marriage contract is established. In the West, choosing a wife or a husband is usually a matter of the heart and is an arrangement between individuals. In Islamic cultures, choosing a wife or a husband is not only to satisfy a person's emotions, but also to choose the right mother or father for future children. The collective responsibility of both families and individuals makes the marriage decision wiser, and therefore divorce is less common and trust is established. Also, to have children who are born outside marriage is against the Islamic teaching and is a crime committed against the law of Allah. Dating is allowed in Islamic cultures, but takes place in different fashions than the Western world. According to the Islamic law, Muslim girls are allowed to marry only Muslim men and only after obtaining the permission of their parents. Men, on the other hand, are allowed to marry Muslims, Christians, or Jews. A date consists of a meeting between the two families so that the bride and groom see each other only in the presence